Hey, this is Full Game Prometheus, the only YouTuber that actually shows you full games of all the tips and schemes he breaks down on his channel. I show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. You get to see this against live online ranked opponents. Alright, so guys, I want to actually show you another formation out of the Steelers playbook, and I didn't necessarily want to break down a formation in this playbook, but I ran into somebody that ran a particular play in this formation that basically destroyed me and basically set up the rest of his offense. So anytime you get someone that actually beats you with a play consistently, you want to try to incorporate that play into your playbook because it's something you can use to help beat other opponents. So basically we're going to take a look at the gun tight doubles on. And this is a formation which has a really special play in it, which is called flood drive. Now what I like about flood drive is that it's a levels concept with a corner route and a clearing fly route. And it's very, very tough to stop. You have to do a lot of manual adjustments to stop this particular play. Now, if you complement it with appropriate plays, you can actually make this a very tough formation to stop. And I'm actually going to be utilizing the Z spot stock. I'm not going to make any adjustments. I'm going to run it as a stock play to make it very difficult for my opponent to go ahead and stop me with this. So we're going to go ahead and utilize the Z spot. One of the things I do like about the Z spot is it is actually a cover 2 beater. It's designed to beat cover 2, and that's one of the most commonly used plays on defensively against a lot of elite Madden players, that they just sit in cover 2 and just wait for their opponents to make mistakes. So I've got a cover 2 beater out of the Z spot, and also one of the audibles we're going to jump into, flood drive, is also a cover 2 beater, and it expands basically on this play. So let's go ahead and jump into basically Z spot. I'm going to break this down with cover 2 and then go from there. Now the first progression we're going to take a look at is going to be Brown. Brown is going to be our first progression. And what we're going to do is we're going to throw the ball to him if a defender does not float down him and actually floats up. If he does float up, basically I've got a over the top read right there with Rodgers, which should get easy separation. So against cover 2, my first read is going to be this guy right here. I'm going to go ahead and see what happens to his defenders. Now you can see his defender actually floats up, and then he actually kind of floats down back to read. He actually can't cover this guy, and this defender actually floats down to cover this guy. This is a mid zone, so that's why this deep crossing route is wide open. Now I probably could have forced the ball into Brown, and sometimes it's actually a smart thing because you want to go ahead and force your opponent to try to do underneath coverage. That's going to open up this deep dig route on the back up top. All right, so with this read, basically we're going to be go ahead and checking down to that underneath route, and your number 1 wide receiver is going to be there, so he's actually going to go ahead and make a play for you. You've also got this little hitch route on the backside too if the defenders float up. So what you want to do is get your opponent to actually go ahead and cheat on that, and if that's the case, what's going to happen is that this deep crossing route on the backside will get wide open. You can actually get an easy 10-yard completion. Now, if your opponent's running random defenses, running blitzes, basically you still make the same kind of progressions. You can also go over to the right-hand side. You've got basically the high-low. I would probably, if my opponent's mixing up my plays, I'm going to make my progressions with the Z-spot concept. That's going to be more where I'm going to fall basically with my reads. And if nobody goes into flat, take the running back. With that, you can actually get an easy completion that way. And you've also got the deep comeback or the deep route on the backside that you can hit your opponent with too. So that's what's great about this, is you can hit your opponent to the outside, to the inside. This is a quick hike play. It's definitely something you can beat your opponent. All right, so the next concept we're going to take a look at is going to be the flood drive. And this particular concept was the play that actually forced me to go ahead and look at this playbook, because I had an opponent that ran this play that basically set up his whole entire offense, and it had me making massive adjustments to stop this play. So what's great about this particular play is that it is very effective against cover 2, especially those cover 2 nickel blitzes that a lot of people have been using online. So let's go ahead and just show you how this particular play works. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and use this against a nickel blitz, and really what this particular play is, you're essentially going to go ahead and tack your opponent underneath on the flat route right there. You're going to basically get them in the flat. So what's good about this particular play is that it's just very, very effective against a lot of those effective blitzes out there in the game. Now, this is the nickel blitz. The blitz is not essentially set up exactly the way that we want it to, but what's good about this particular this play is that it will go ahead and attack the flat area. Now with the nickel blitz, if you go ahead and run it correctly, this defender actually has to float up and play that cloud zone. So he's going to get pulled away by this corner route by the backside wide receiver on the inside slot. This is your number one wide receiver, and this defender is going to float up to take away the streak, and also this corner here, this defensive back is going to go ahead and take care of the streak. So that's going to leave this underneath route going to be wide open. So one of the things I tried to do is I tried to manually defend that with my middle linebacker. Essentially, I tried to pull the guy down. But what happens is that this guy right here will be wide open with the coverage, because if I go ahead and void that area, the levels on the back side of it is going to be wide open. So it was basically a high-low concept that was very difficult for me to do. Now, what's great about this play is you can leave it stock, run the play, and actually go ahead and just snap the ball and just look for your easy read. So most people think, okay, well, that's simple. I'm just going to do a hard flat to go and defend it. Now, what happens with a hard flat is that you're going to be setting yourself up for the huge play with the hard flat. So if you're reading this guy right here and he actually falls into a hard flat, he's not coming down, this deep corner route is going to be wide open for an easy completion. Now, also this deep corner route is going to beat man coverage too. So if this defender who should be manned up on the outside receiver follows this guy, you know this deep corner route is going to be wide open too. So one of the quick audibles I made, or quick adjustments, I went into cover 2 buster to see if I can catch him off guard, and basically he just watched and actually hit me with the deep corner route and picked up an easy first down with it. So another adjustment I did is I actually did the cover 3 Mabel because it basically is going to flood the area, but it didn't work out exactly I wanted to, because this area of the field was wide open because I was chasing down some of these routes. So basically I was flooding this area to go ahead and take away his low route, his high route, and what happens is right now this deep tight end route is essentially wide open. So really what you'd have to do against this particular play is actually you'd have to go ahead and manually defend this tight end route, and then keep the Mabel coverage going across the middle to go ahead and take away this guy's reads. But it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So I would actually have to go ahead and take the risk of actually going ahead and taking this defensive back and trying to take away that over the middle route reception. So one of the things I actually did is I started concentrating on this side and the left side, and what my opponent did and what you can do is you could just simply flip the play. So just flip the play the other way. Same concepts off the left-hand side, off the right-hand side, and now you're going to have that underneath route that's going to essentially establish everything up. So between the Z spot and the flood drive, you can run these 2 plays to basically go ahead and beat your opponent up top, in the middle, off to the side, off to the left. It's going to give you basically a complete way to go and attack your opponent. So if you guys like this tip, I recommend going ahead and taking a look at it. If you guys run flood drive or Z spot, you make any kind of adjustments, share those in the comments. Once again, I really appreciate my support of my subscribers, you guys commenting and hitting the like button. Thank you for your support, and until next time.